Okay, hello, welcome back. We are going to be doing a 6 Plus Touch IC. I know there's probably about 1,000 videos out there on YouTube on how to repair this. I've seen some as simple as we're just going to add some foam underneath the chips to push on the chips, and everybody's like, oh, this is a solid solution because my particular foam works, blah, blah, blah. Well, all it is putting pressure on the chip. It's the same as, slightly bending the phone a little bit and it working. It's just pushing a broken connection back together. So the only true way to fix it is to truly remove the chip off of the board and put a new chip on. So that's what we're doing here. I've done a little bit of prep work. I've got my logic board already here on my stand. I have some quarters set up for heat sinks on the chips. I don't want any heat to be applied to. Let's get started. So I don't have a microscope cam right now, so I'm gonna try to do what I can with my other webcam that I've got connected to my computer, and just by holding that up to the microscope, and then I'll dub that over the video a little later. So let's get started. I have horrible eyes, but I have to have my glasses to be able to see, but when it comes to doing the microscope, I can do a lot more with that. And I get my IC lifting tweezers here. Come on. Alrighty, we got that chip off. I nudged a couple of things pulling it. Telephone. Alrighty, I'm getting a lot of weird phone numbers. Alrighty. It's a pretty clean pull. I got looks like I only bumped one capacitor. So let me show you guys that. It's like right there I moved a capacitor. So let's get that put back into place. Good capacitor. Alrighty. I'll show you what I do. Alrighty, so now everything is back in place. Alright, so now we're going to clean up the area where the chip was. Okay, so I use a couple of different tips, and I cannot wait until I get me a Hacko station. I've several of the other, actually most everyone that does repair that has YouTube videos up, they all use Hacko stations, and I've got this little cheap, crappy China one that I bought off. I don't remember if I got off of Amazon or eBay, but it was real cheap, and I needed something that had the hot air with it, and it's not the best in the world, and I really don't like doing stuff with it, but it will get the job done. But my biggest complaint about it is changing the tips. You pretty much have to unscrew it and then do this number and take it off. And if you've had it on, well, all of that's very, very hot. So, but I just kind of deal with it for now. And after you've been using it a few minutes, you definitely can't do it. I use my bent up scrape tweezers to do this with. Alright, so I don't want that too tight, otherwise I'll never get it off. There we go. Alright, cut that on, let that get hot, we'll tin that. We'll get all these pads cleaned up. And then we'll get that chip settled into place, and then we'll get we'll get our next chip done. That tip's still a little warm. Nope. So, and I was doing some work for another company. It was nothing this delicate. We were just making some data cables for some industrial robots, interestingly enough. And they had a Hacko station, and my goodness, just wow. I was amazed by that station. So I know everybody brags completely about them, and I believe them. I knew that those had to be excellent stations, but I guess I just didn't believe them, I believed them, but I don't know. I just didn't realize how much of a huge difference we were talking about until I used that Hacko station. And the difference it made was absolutely remarkable. So, alright, so we're up to 10. I'll get some tip tinning going. Get all that excess tip cleaner off. Alrighty. So let's get this. Oh. Little bit of flux. And I generally try to not to use wick on these locations. I just make sure there's not any or very little solder on my iron and keep wiping it off because the solder will want to flow towards the heat mostly anyway. You just gotta keep making sure you keep that clean. Smelling a little bit of plastic. It must have bumped my microscope. Alrighty, I think we're just about got it. Alrighty. Just kind of doing a little bit of a visual inspection here. That all looks good, so we'll kill that. And each time I put my soldering iron down, I have to flip the power switch because it doesn't go to sleep. The Hackos, they actually have a sleep function. As long as you plug it in and use it, which I don't know why you wouldn't use it. As soon as you drop the iron in, it puts the iron to sleep and goes into low temp. Alrighty, that looks good. And since I've started using my soldering station, it's a tad warm in here, so we'll cut on the AC. Alrighty, let's put our chip on there. This will be Meson. Need to order me some more of these. let's give y'all a look-see of the our Touch IC site. So there's that one. And to really be honest, this this particular phone had some flickering gray bars at the top, so I could probably get away by just replacing Meson. But while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and replace Cumulus anyway. So let's get that on there. I'm going to add a little bit of flux. Now, when I drop my chip, and I say a little bit of flux, I'm going to emphasize just a little bit of flux, because you do not want a lot of flux to be underneath this chip. So I try to enough. That's probably too much. So let's get orientation on that. Oop, can't see it like that. I think that's my dot. Yep, that's my dot. So chip oriented. Let's get that as close to in place as we can. And you're not gonna ever get this perfect, but you want it as close as possible so that you don't get bridging happening. If it's too far off, the surface tension won't pull it into place correctly. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to show you what that looks like with the chip in place. So there's our chip. It's just placed. That's just sitting there. That's not soldered down just yet. So we're going to go ahead and get that soldered on now. Alrighty. in. I saw it jump into place, so hopefully that wasn't too far off. Alright, so there's our chip, and that is a after soldering. So we're now gonna go to the Broadcom, or the also known as the Cumulus U2401. Okay, good. That don't seem like there was too much heat there. I know I talk to myself a lot. Alrighty, now this one has more components in close proximity to it. So as you can tell, it's got a lot of capacitors and resistors and stuff around that chip. So we're gonna have to be really careful with lifting that, otherwise we're going to bork those other components. Looks like there was a little bit of something stuck to the tip of my flux. So make sure we get that out of there. All right. Come on. Come on, you're almost there. There we go. Alright, that was a good clean lift. No moved components or nothing. Alright, so let's drop our bad chip over there. Alright, so let's cut on our iron. We'll get that cleaned up. We'll get this new chip on, and we'll call this one a day. Alright, our soldering iron's still heating up. And it's getting about time to go home. And once I get home, I'll try to do a few more videos tonight about my tools and how I do live streaming. This particular video I'm not live streamed because I don't have all of my equipment here. Some of it I left at home. And one of the things that I do want to work on, and I may even post that online, is I want to 3D print a clip that goes over this that holds my GoPro. That way I don't have to fumble around. I can just go junk. Clean off my optics a smidge. Oh, I didn't show y'all what that looked like, or did I? Alright, and now we have that chip lifted. So we're going to clean those pads up. And I'll get that going. Do I have some flux on there? Yes, I got a little bit of flux. Alright, I'm going to have to spin this. I don't want to spin it. Must have bumped something plastic. Probably my microscope. I have all these little nicks in my scope where I've bumped it with the hot air, bumped it with the iron. I don't want that little spiky there. There we go. I got two big spheres. There we are. Alright, that should be good enough. Drop that in my holder and turn it off. Let's get this repositioned on my makeshift thing here. God, this stuff's sometimes annoying. Alrighty, let's get this flux cleaned up. Alrighty. I'm going to blast that with just a smidge of the hot air. There's a couple of pads that aren't quite rounded and I don't really like the way those look. Alright, there's one pad that I don't like the looks of, so let's... that swapped out. Hot. Waiting for that to heat up. Go ahead and get our Cumulus out. quite ready. Waiting on my soldering iron to heat back up. There we go. And boop. Alright, that was all I needed. Took more time getting the soldering iron all set up than it did to actually do what I was needing to do. Alrighty, let's give you guys a peek. And gals. I keep saying guys, but and gals. Whoop. Alright, so there's my prep site ready for the Cumulus. Thing in position as best I can. Too far left, too far twisted, too far up. Are you there? Nope, you're a little too far down. I had it there and then I went a little too far. And I'm back too far the other way. I need maybe a half a millimeter, not a whole one. Damn it, I had it right in the right spot. Alright, we're good up and down. Ooh, dare. I like a dare. Alright. look at placement, and there's our chip sitting there. Let's get it flowed into place, and then I give it a little quick cleaning, and then I almost there. Alright, we're good. Good. Alright. Now, it took me a little bit longer than I really wanted it to, so I'm going to cool down, dip my Q-tip in some alcohol. We're going to cool these quarters down. Actually, we're going to swap them with some cold quarters. Alrighty, we'll let you see that. And there's our Broadcom. All in place. Let's see. It's probably the, yep. Alrighty. Got a fresh Q-tip, and we'll get this board cleaned up. top of the Wi-Fi chip. Get some of this fuzz out of here from a Q-tip. Everything top side looks good. Let's say pop this in its housing, give it a test, and then if it works so close to closing, I will give this a little test. I'm going to go ahead and put this sticker on here. Alrighty, barely tell I was in it. Although I'm not going to leave it like that. If by chance, if this does work successfully, I'm going to pull it back out tomorrow when I come in and ultrasonic clean all that flux off there, so that it looks like a brand new board if anybody was to look at it. Alright, ready for power. Alrighty. We have Apple logo. Good sound. Now this, the touch on this particular phone was acting up to the point to where it disabled the phone. So I won't be able to do too much testing. But let's wait for the phone to boot. I can at least swipe, hit call for emergency and use the keypad. And that'll be a somewhat decent of a test. We have touch. 3570. Alrighty, you see that? Cancel, emergency. That's a successful Touch IC replacement. And see, as I was saying, the touch was acting up, so it's got iPhone is disabled. Soon as this customer gets her phone back, she should be able to just pop this into her computer, and it should successfully unlock the phone, and she'll be happy to get her phone back tomorrow. So, and that's I'd say that's a successful Touch IC. Alrighty, so we got a successful Touch IC video. I'll get that. If anybody has any questions, comments, or needs anything repaired, please send me a message. Get in touch with me. Our website is ptcrepairs.com. Look for us on Facebook. PTC Repairs there as well. I will be starting a Twitter, Instagram, maybe a Snapchat. Haven't decided on that one. But they'll all be PTC Repairs. Feel free to zip over to my personal channel, Delo Dave. It may not, the username may not be changed yet. It might still show up as David Rucker. But if you search Delo Dave, you'll find my videos. So there's that. If you're interested in repair, such as this, some other great resources I can recommend is Jessa Jones at iPad Rehab. Look for her on YouTube. She's got tons of videos out there. Lewis Rossman at Rossman Repair Group. He's another one. He's more MacBooks. He does MacBook Logic board repair. Occasionally you'll see a iPhone data recovery, something like that, pop up on his channel. And Jason at STS Telecom, I've been watching some of his videos. Mark Schaefer, he's also with iPad Rehab, but he has his own channel that he puts some videos up. So give all of them a look on YouTube if you're at any of all interested at in any of this. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, leave them in the comments section below. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Thank you, and have a great day.